Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel that help you turn your literary dreams into reality. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the syllabus, don't worry. I have got you covered. In this video, I'll share a detailed 25 days strategy to cover the UGC NET English syllabus. Focus on repeated questions and ensure you're 100% ready for the exam. We'll dedicate each day to specific topics, starting with the British literature, moving through American and Indian literature, and wrapping up with the world literature, literary theory, and practice sessions. This plan is designed to maximize your productivity and give you the confidence to crack the exam. Each day you'll know exactly what to study, which works to focus on, and how to tackle repeated questions from previous papers. But before we start, let me introduce you to something special. If you are looking for personalized guidance, detailed lessons and extra practice, you can join my Platinum membership for just Rs 599. And here is what you'll get as a Platinum member. Detailed videos covering every topic in this strategy, mock test and previous year's questions to help you practice effectively, most repeated questions on each topics for only 599. This membership is the ultimate boost for your preparation. So click the join button below and get access to everything you need to ace the exam. Focus on a chronological overview of British literature, a cornerstones of UGC NET English. We'll start with the Anglo-Saxon and Anglo-Norman periods. The Anglo-Saxon and Anglo-Norman periods are characterized by themes of heroism, religious elements, and oral tradition. These eras highlight the values of bravery, loyalty, and the strong influence of Christianity on literature. Key works from this time include Beowulf, an epic poem that celebrates the heroic deeds of its titular character, and the Baton of Malda, which recounts a historical conflict in poetic form. To study this period effectively, use flashcards to memorize key themes and works and practice solving previous year questions to strengthen your understanding and exam readiness. On day 2, you'll study the age of Chaucer and the age of revival. These periods focus on themes like humanism, satire, and allegory. Writers used humanism to explore human values, satire to criticize society, and allegory to convey deeper meanings through symbolic stories. Two important works from this time are Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales, a collection of stories told by pilgrims on a journey, and Piers Plowman by William Langland, which presents a moral and spiritual journey. To study effectively, create a timeline of key works to understand these sequence and practice multiple choice questions on major characters and their significance in this work. On day 3, focus on the Elizabethan Age, a vibrant period in English literature known for its drama and poetry. The key writers to study are William Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe, Edmund Spenser, and Sir Philip Sidney. Shakespeare's play like Hamlet, Marlowe's Dr. Faustus, and Spenser's The Faerie Queene are significant works of his time. These works explore complex human emotions, the nature of power, and the ideal of chivalric virtue. As you study, pay attention to identifying key characters and famous lines from these plays, as they often appear in exam questions. Reviewing and memorizing these elements will help you reinforce your understanding of the text and improve your exam preparation. On day 4, focus on the Puritan Age and the Restoration Age. For the Puritan Age, study key writers like John Milton, known for his epic poem Paradise Lost, and John Bunyan, who wrote The Pilgrim's Progress. These works explore themes of morality, religion, and the struggle between good and evil. In the Restoration Age, pay attention to writers like John Dryden, whose play All for Love focuses on themes of love and betrayal. And William Wycherley is known for his comedy The Country Wife, which highlights the humor of manners and relationships. When studying these periods, focus on themes such as morality, realism, and the comedy of manners, as these are important aspects of both ages. On day 5, focus on Enlightenment age and the Romantic age. For the Enlightenment age, key writers include Alexander Pope, known for his mock heroic work The Rape of the Lock, and Jonathan Swift, famous for his satirical work Gulliver's Travel. These works often explore reason, logic, and societal norms. In the Romantic age, focus on poets like William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and John Keats. Their works emphasizes nature, emotion, and individualism, with the famous poems like Lyrical Ballads and Ode to Nightingale. When revising, make sure to annotate poems with the key themes like emotion, nature, and individualism, and also identifying literary devices such as symbolism, metaphor, and imagery. On day 6, focus on the Victorian age. The key writers to study are Charles Dickens, George Eliot, Robert Browning, and Alfred Lord Tennyson. Dickens is known for his social critique in novels like Tale of Two Cities and Oliver Twist, while Eliot's works like Middlemarch explore social issues and human psychology. Browning's poetry often dwells into dramatic monologues, and Tennyson's works such as The Charge of the Light Brigade reflect themes of heroism and faith. Key themes of this period include industrialization, social critique, and the conflict between faith and doubt. When practicing previous year questions, focus on identifying Victorian poetic styles and settings in novels, as well as the prominent social issues addressed in their works. On day 7, cover the modern and postmodern ages. For modernism, focus on writers like T.S. Eliot, James Joyce, and Virginia Woolf. Their works such as The Waste Land, Ulysses, and Mrs. Dalloway reflect themes like disillusionment, stream of consciousness, and the search of meaning in a fragmented world. For postmodernism, study writers like Samuel Beckett and Angela Carter. Beckett's Waiting for Godot and Carter's The Bloody Chamber explore existentialism, absurdity, and the breaking of traditional narrative forms. A great way to revise is by creating a comparison chart of modernism versus postmodernism, highlighting difference in themes, narrative techniques, and attitudes towards reality and truth. Friends, are you feeling stressed by these topics? Don't worry, as a platinum member, you'll get detailed video explanation for each day's content, mock test to clarify your doubts, and it's just rupees 599. Join by clicking the join button below. Now let's see week 2. Now we'll see week 2 American and Indian literature. On day 8, focus on early American literature. Key writers include Anne Bradstreet, Cotton Mather, and Benjamin Franklin. Bradstreet, known for her poetry, expresses themes of Puritanism and personal reflection, while Mather's writings focus on religion and the supernatural, such as in Wonders of the Invisible World. Benjamin Franklin is important for his contribution to American thought, particularly in the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, where themes of individualism, self-improvement, and freedom are explored. A key part of your revision should be understanding foundational texts and allegories in Puritan writing, such as the symbolic meanings in works like Sinners in the Hands of Angry God by Jonathan Edwards. Make sure to review the core ideas of Puritanism and how these writers shaped American culture and literature. On day 9, focus on 19th century American literature, highlighting transcendentalism and realism. Transcendentalism, with the writers like Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau, emphasizes themes of nature, self-reliance, and individualism. Key works include Henry David Thoreau's Walden and Emerson's Self-Reliance. These works encourage the exploration of one's inner self and the connection between human and nature. In contrast, realism emerged later in the century, and writers like Mark Twain, who explored the complexities of American society through works such as Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. This genre focuses on depicting life accurately without romanticizing it. To reinforce your understanding, practice MCQs on major works and literary movements from this period, ensuring you are familiar with the key themes and ideas. On day 10, focus on 20th century American literature, with an emphasis on two major movements, modernism and Harlem Renaissance. Modernism, which arose after World War I, is characterized by break from traditional forms, embracing experimentation and focus on individual consciousness. Key writers in these movements include Ernest Hemingway, whose The Old Man and the Sea embodies themes of struggle and resilience, and F. Scott Fitzgerald, whose The Great Gatsby critique the American dream. The Harlem Renaissance, a cultural movement in 1920s, brought the African American writers like Langton Hughes, whose poetry reflects themes of racial identity, equality, and pride. To revise efficiently, focus on memorizing the key themes and stylistic features of their works, ensuring you are prepared to identify these in exam questions. On day 11, dive into contemporary American literature by focusing on two major writers, Toni Morrison and Jhumpa Lahiri. Morrison's Beloved is a powerful exploration of race, identity, and the haunting effects of slavery on individuals and families. Her work dwells into the psychological scars of history, especially within African American communities. Jhumpa Lahiri's The Namesake explored the immigrant experience, examining themes of a cultural identity, belonging, and generational clash between parents and children who grow up in a new country. When revising, pay close attention to the themes of race, identity, and immigration, as these are frequently asked in past papers. Focus on the nuance in characters and a plot to answer these questions effectively. On day 12, focus on Indian English literature, which explore themes like nationalism, caste, and post-colonial identity. Start by looking at key works such as Kanthapura by Raja Rao, Untouchable by Mulkraj Anand, and Coolie by Mulkraj Anand. Kanthapura deals with the Indian independence struggle and the influence of Mahatma Gandhi on rural India, while Untouchable highlights the social injustice faced by the lower caste in India. Coolie touches upon the harsh realities of the working class in colonial India. These works provide a deep insight into the social and political issues of the time. To revise, create a thematic map of Indian English literature, identifying the key themes, characters, and setting in these works. This will help you better understand how these themes are explored across different texts, making it easier to answer questions related to them in the exam. On day 13, focus on Dalit literature and Indian aesthetics. Dalit literature sheds light on the struggles, oppression, and marginalized faced by the Dalit community in India. Key works to study include Karukku by Bama, which explore the life of the Dalit Christian woman, and Jhutan by Om Prakash Valmiki, a powerful autobiography that narrates the author's experiences with the untouchability and caste discrimination. Alongside, Dalit literature dwells into the core concepts of Indian aesthetics such as the rasa, emotions or feelings experienced through art, dhwani, the suggestion of a meaning beyond the literal, and vakroti, the use of indirect speech or a twisted expression. These principles play a crucial role in understanding the nuance of Indian literature and art. For effective revision, practice application based questions on Indian aesthetics. Focus on how these concepts can be used to interpret works of a literature and how they influence the emotional and intellectual response of the audience. On day 14, take the time to review and consolidate your understanding of British, American, and Indian literature. Start by solving previous year questions to access your grasp of key topics and identify areas that you need further attention. Focus on overlapping themes that connects these literary traditions such as colonialism, identity, social justice, and humanism. Understanding how these themes manifest in different literary contexts will help you create connection across genres and periods. And additionally, write short notes on these overlapping themes to reinforce your understanding and recall key details. Summarizing important works from moments will also strengthen your memory. Finally, review summaries of major texts to ensure you have a clear and concise understanding of key works from each tradition. This recap will help you to refresh your knowledge and ensure you are ready for the exam. On day 15, focus on African, Australian, and Caribbean literature, exploring key writers like Chinua Achebe, Ngugi wa Thiong's from Africa, as well as Caribbean voices like Derek Walcott and Jean Rice. These writers tackle themes such as colonialism, cultural identity, and post-colonial struggles. Compare the ways these regions address post-colonial issues. African literature often deals with the aftermath of colonialism and the fight for independence, while Caribbean writers examine race, identity, and the legacy of slavery. The strategy for this day is to analyze these themes across regions and practice comparing literary techniques used by authors. On day 16, focus on diaspora literature, which explore the experience of people living away from their homeland. Key writers to study are Salman Rushdie and Jhumpa Lahiri. Their works explore themes like nostalgia, where characters long for their homeland countries. Hybridity, which refers to mixing of different cultural identities and the struggle to find balance between different cultures. Understanding these themes will help you better grasp the challenges and identity issues faced by individuals in diaspora community. On day 17, focus on French and Russian literature. For French classic, study works like Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert and Candide by Voltaire, which explore themes of a personal disillusionment and the critique of society. In Russian literature, dive into epic novels like War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy and Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky, which examine complex human emotion, morality, and the consequences of action. To revise, practice identifying key characters and understanding the major themes in these works, as they often appear in questions on literature exams. On day 18, focus on literary criticism timeline. Study the contributions of key critics like Aristotle, who laid the foundation of literary theory with his Poetics, Longinus, known for his work on the sublime, Dryden, who contributed to classical criticism, Coleridge, who emphasized imagination in poetry, and Arnold, who focused on the idea of a culture and the role of criticism. To revise effectively, memorize their major contributions in chronological order, as understanding the progression of literary criticism will help you identify key ideas in exam questions. On 19th day, Focus on literary theory, specifically the theories of structuralism, post-structuralism, feminism, post-colonialism. Structuralism examines how language and structure within texts create meaning, while post-structuralism challenges the idea of a fixed meanings and focuses on how interpretation can change. Feminism in literature critiques gender inequalities and highlights the representation of women. And post-colonialism deals with the effects of colonization and how colonized culture are portrayed. To revise effectively, break down these complex theories into simple concepts and support them with the examples from well-known literary texts. This approach will help you grasp the key ideas and the better prepared for exam questions related to these theories. On day 20, focus on cultural studies, which explore how culture shapes and is shaped by power, identity, and social dynamics. Key concepts to understand are hegemony, dominance of one group over others. Identity means how individuals or group define themselves. And discourse means ways of thinking and speaking that shape society. To revise, apply this concept to literary works like Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart and Toni Morrison's Beloved. In Things Fall Apart, you can analyze how colonial hegemony impacts the Igbo community's identity. In Beloved, you can explore how slavery affects the identity of former slaves and the discourse around race and freedom. This will help you understand how cultural studies applies to literature. On day 21, focus on recapping world literature and literary theory. The key task is to solve multiple choice questions and previous year questions that emphasizes theory-heavy topics. This will help you reinforce your understanding of various literary theories such as structuralism, post-structuralism, feminism, post-colonialism, and other critical approaches. By practicing these questions, you can access your grasp on how different theories apply to global literary works and refine your skills in interpreting complex literary texts through theoretical lenses. On day 22, focus on prosody and literary devices. The key areas to cover are metrics, rhyme scheme, and figures of speech. Understanding the rhymes and structure of a poetry is essential, so make sure you can identify various meters patterns like iambic pentameter or trochee tetrameter. Pay attention to common rhymes such as AB, AB, AABB or sonnet forms. Additionally, review common figures of speech like metaphors, similes, personification, and hyperbole. To prepare, practice identifying these elements in different poems and focus on repeated questions that require you to recognize poetic forms and literary devices. This will help you reinforce your knowledge of poetry and improve your exam performance. On day 23, focus on chronology and literary prizes. Key topics to cover include Nobel Prizes, Booker Prizes, and Pulitzer Prizes, along with the timeline of major works from these award-winning authors. Make sure you are familiar with the notable winners and their contributions to literature. Creating quick reference tables can be a helpful strategy to memorize these dates of important awards and these works associated with them. These tables will provide a fast way to recall key facts during your revision and exam. To prepare efficiently, pay attention to repeated questions related to these literary prizes and the timeline of their significant works. On day 24, focus on mixed type questions and mock tests. Cover topics such as famous lines, key characters, and literary terms that frequently appear in the exam. To practice effectively, solve past papers to get sense of the types of questions you might encounter. After completing mock tests, take time to analyze your results. This will help you identify weak areas and improve your understanding. By practicing different questions types, you'll build confidence and refine your exam strategies for better performance. On day 25, focus on final revision. Review the weak areas you identified during previous days and prioritize high yield topics that are frequently tested. Use flashcards, summaries, and one-liners for a quick yet effective review. This will help you retain important information and strengthen your recall under exam condition. Stay calm and give special attention to any concept that still feel uncertain to ensure you are fully prepared for the exam. And there you have it. By following these strategies and staying consistent, you can cover the entire syllabus in just 25 days. Don't forget to join the Platinum membership for $599 to get exclusive access to everything you need. Detailed videos, quizzes, mock test. And if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for updates. Together, let's make your UGC NET dream a reality. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.